In 1534, the French have claimed Canadian land. They named their territory New France. In 1607, the British began settling in North America as well. The tension of both sides competing for territory and trade. It was almost impossible to avoid conflict there. The French had been under attack by the Indians who were allied with the British, and the French retaliated with some natives of their own. The attacks were eventually ended by the Treaty of Ryswick, and when it had been signed, neither British nor French gained any land. After this, the Spanish succession spread to America in 1702. The British emerged victorious with the Treaty of Utrecht and obtained Nova Scotia, Hudson Bay, and Newfoundland. But the French still had St. Lawrence, Cape Breton Island, and the immense Louisiana territory. King George's War was a result of the European War, the Austrian Succession. Because Britain was fighting the Austrian succession at the time, they could not send many troops for King George's War. The colonists instead took the offensive against the French. The British and the French continued to fight for colonial supremacy in North America. The rivalry eventually focused French and British troops in the Ohio Valley. In 1753, the French began building forts for Lake Erie to the forks of the Ohio River, where the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers meet. The British attempted to build a fort for strategic advantages. The French beat them to it, however, and began building Fort Duquesne. The British needed this area for tactical advantages, and so they sent a small force, led by the 21-year-old Lieutenant Washington, to regain this area of precious land. The battle for Fort Duquesne. Washington met a small French force on the way, and bang! Took them out. They set up a small fort, named Necessity, near Duquesne, but it was not meant to be. Necessity was attacked. 1 year later, General Edward Braddock was sent from England with soldiers to take Fort Duquesne down. The force was made up of Braddock, his troops, Washington, his troops, and a few Indian scouts. The battle outcome is yet uncertain, and today we watch in wonder as the battle unfolds. Hey, General Braddock, we must discuss the battle upon.
Washington, what do you need, Lieutenant?
General, you cannot fight them with traditional tactics. They do not fight the way we do.
Washington, I believe I know the ways of war. Even if they do not fight as customary, we'll have the advantage in numbers, skill, and numbers.
I'm well aware of that, General, but...
There is no hope an army of ragged Frenchmen and a few savages can defeat our superior army. We will fight as customary. We shall win as it is meant to be.
Sir, the enemy approaches.
Thank you, Ravari.
We'll meet these fiends on the front and defeat them, as the British soldier should, with honor and dignity. To arms!
Wait.
Charge!
The battle was as Washington predicted. They were defeated by the enemy's tactics of hiding behind bushes and surprise attacks. In the end, the British gained victory over the French by defeating Fort Niagara, Fort St. Frederick, and Fort Caroline in the Battle of Quebec. The hostilities between the French and the British ended then in 1756, besides a few spots like at Fort Detroit, in 1763, the Treaty of Paris was signed, and the French surrendered all of its Canadian claims and land east of the Mississippi River. All France had was a few islands in the Gulf, St. Lawrence, St. Pierre, Miquelon, and was the only base remaining of their Canadian empire. And so we bring our tale of the Battle of Ft Duquesne to an end, knowing that Britain lost horribly to a bunch of hairy French dudes and Indians. And we are reassured that it would be easy for a bunch of undersupplied, useless colonists to defeat the Britain in the Revolutionary War, which hasn't happened yet.